In this section, we're going to be continuing to put into practice what we've learned, and I'm going to show you how we're going to create a dining room table. We're going to be looking down from the top. So first I want the square, or rectangle, for the tabletop. For that, we're going to use our rectangle tool. But I'd actually like to start with a center to corner rectangle. That way I can be sure all sides are equal. So as you can see here, I don't really have to eyeball this because it's showing me everything is equidistant from the center. So that looks about perfect. I'll click there. However, we want our dining table to be a little bit fancy. So this hard-edged rectangle isn't going to work. I'll go to Edit, Rebuild, Point count of 12. Let's try that. You can see we've got a nice, softer edge here. Now we need to create the profile curve for our dining room table. For that, I'm going to use my control point curve here. Turn off ortho so I have a little more freedom of movement, but I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm not concerned with making it exactly the right size yet, because I want it to be pretty detailed. So if it starts somewhere in there, then we're going to come back here. Then I'm actually going to right-click to finish the curve, right-click again to pick up a new curve, right where I left off. And again, I right-click again to start another curve. I keep left-clicking to put down points. And right-click, and we're finished. Now here, this is kind of not looking quite the way I want it, but what we're going to do first is join our curves, turn on our control points, and I'll move that point one more forward to there. This point here, what I'm actually going to do is delete it to make it a little softer. And so that's looking good. Now as you can see by our top viewport, this curve is much too large. I'm going to right-click for my two-dimensional scale since I don't want the curve to move around. I just want it to shrink in my front viewport. And let's see how this looks now in our perspective. Still a little too large. We want this to be a pretty massive table. Right-click my scale tool. We'll go down to about there. And that looks great. Now I'm going to save table.